Well, guys, Arie Luyendyk Jr. and Lauren Burnham got married in Maui, Hawaii on January 12th, and People has exclusive footage from the wedding. Here to break down all the details from the big day is People's deputy West Coast news editor, Arie Nahas. Thanks for being here, Arie.
Hello. So, in the days leading up to their wedding, the duo had a bachelor-worthy date to get to know the island, which I think is kind of cool. So tell us a little bit about this excursion.
They did. They had a helicopter ride that was so glorious. It was the perfect way to see this beautiful surroundings where they were about to get married. And they actually joked that it did feel like a little bit like they were on a bachelor date, harkening back to where they met, which was pretty funny. But it was truly a great way to see the scenery. They knew that they wanted to get married in a place that was lush and tropical, but also had this very romantic feel to it. So Maui was just the perfect spot for that.
Yeah, and watching that video, it's even more like The Bachelor, right?
It
like
really
it was filmed really, really well. But so in lieu of this sort of typical rehearsal dinner, they decided to hit the ocean on a boat. Tell us about this.
They did. They had, yes, instead of kind of sitting around outside at a table the way that normal rehearsal dinners are, they actually took 40 people, their friends and family, the bridal party, out on a sunset catamaran, which was incredible. And the most amazing part was that just 50 yards from the boat, they actually saw whales, a big pod of whales, which was absolutely incredible, something you definitely can't plan. So Lauren and Arie were just thrilled to see that, and they kind of took it as like a good special omen for the weekend.
Look at
I mean,
that
can
footage.
you imagine? Is this real life?
By the way, Chris Harrison there as well, like just taking it all in.
Yeah, it's just like so beautiful. And what did the preparation for the big day look like for Lauren then?
So she was, you know, there was a little bit of anxiety, but surprisingly, she actually told me she felt weirdly calm. She and Arie have been planning this wedding day in and day out for over a year, and they're just so ready to be married. They're about to welcome their baby girl this late spring. And so she was just had a great time. She was getting ready with her friends. They were all wearing matching kind of complimentary HAYLEY PAIGE gowns. And Lauren, of course, was wearing a beautiful, painstakingly designed HAYLEY PAIGE gown with beautiful embroidery and beadwork. And she just felt so lovely in it. And the coolest touch is that her garter, it was actually a piece of one of Arie's racing suits. Of course, Arie is a former professional race car driver. And there was a piece of one of his racing suits cut into a heart and put onto her garter, which was a really romantic touch that he just loved.
Again, also very Bachelor-like, right? Like a nice, thoughtful touch.
She looks beautiful. That dress is stunning.
Yeah, it really is. All right, take us inside the preparation for Arie and how he was getting ready for the ceremony.
So Arie, same thing. He was pretty cool, pretty calm and collected. He did have a little bit of nerves, but he also had a great time. He was getting ready with his friends. He knew that he had made the right decision, and he just couldn't wait to meet Lauren. When he did see her coming down the aisle, though, it was very sweet. He got so emotional and choked up that he had to look down at the ground as she was walking up instead of actually up at her, because he was so filled with tears and overcome with emotion. So it was really sweet. But yeah, the day of, he had a great time. He was getting ready with the bridal party, and you know, just counting the minutes till he could see Lauren walk down the aisle.
Yeah. Now the ceremony itself looked absolutely beautiful. How did they make it special for themselves?
Got married, the venue itself was extremely unique. It was at the sugar mill, and it was basically, there's no walls, or there's 4 walls, but the top is actually made out of glass. So you feel like you're outside. The ceremony was in this sugar mill. There was beautiful foliage. There was actually an arch that was inspired by one that Lauren had seen in the Breaking Dawn Twilight movie. And she sent pictures to her planner, and because of that, they were able to design this arch that was filled with, covered with vines and flowers. It was absolutely beautiful. A really funny touch was that Lauren's grandmother and grandfather were actually flower girl and ring bearer, and they just had the best time. They walked down the aisle. They were sprinkling rose petals. She said she got a little saucy. It was really funny. And then during the ceremony, Arie and Lauren wrote their own vows. They both got a little choked up, but it was really sweet. And everyone was just couldn't take their eyes off this beautiful couple. You know, they've come a long way from the day that they met on The Bachelor, and it was really nice to see that they found their perfect happy ending.
I love that, and I love that some of the look was inspired by the Twilight movies.
I know, some
right?
Twilight inspo.
Maybe they snuck a line or two in the vows. We don't know. Tell us more about the reception.
So the reception was also in the Sugar Mill in a different place, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Long tables with green runners, lots of foliage, and also the menu was a little bit inspired by their Hawaiian surroundings. They had pineapple spring rolls. They had really, it was all natural, but also had this fairy tale element. So it really was this perfect combination of this romantic, but also earthy and natural. And the lighting, they brought in chandeliers. It was truly breathtaking. And all of the guests, including some Bachelor alumni like Sean and Catherine Lowe and a few of the girls from Arie and Lauren's season, were there to take this all in and really enjoy themselves.
All right, we have to talk about the cake. So it was gorgeous. So tell us a little bit about the cake.
Yes, it was 4 layers. It was a marble cake. There was some beautiful flowers on it, and it was absolutely delicious, according to the couple. They did exchange their first bite, but they said that they were gentle with each other. There was no cake smashing here. They wanted to still keep it pretty classy.
Man, it is just beautiful. That's incredible. Looks great. HAYLEY, thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course, absolutely. Thanks, guys.